I've got a very heavy piece of olive wood. It's only like 9 by 9 and 4.5 inches at the high point, but you can see it's not very symmetrical as far as the shape goes. So because of that, and because I'm missing bark right down the middle, I think I'll just make a normal bowl out of it. It's got enough heartwood in there that I think it's going to really show up nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and get a hole in here for a worm screw. I think I'll probably knock some corners off because I know I'm making a round bowl, and I'll meet you back at the lathe. Alright, let's go ahead and get it mounted up on that worm screw. It's on the worm screw really tight, but I'll be turning a lot of air because of where this dips down. So when I'm hitting this, I won't be hitting anything, and that can tend to jar the piece a little bit, and we don't want it coming loose, so we'll just get the live center up against it like so. We're doing 590 RPM. And that's my 5/8 bowl gouge I'm using. We can turn it up a little bit. 740. Let's have a look at this. Oh, I got a nice big crack right there. I got a big crack up here too. Oh dear, we got lots of cracks. That just did not show up until I did this. Alright, now you can see it right here. I'm going to go ahead and get this round, and I'm going to put some CA down in that crack, and I'm going to call it a day and a night. Little crack right there too. Look at that heartwood, it's just beautiful. I thought I should show you how I do the CA because a lot of people ask about that. All I'm doing now is trying to get some CA glue in here to strengthen it. I'm not worried about what the finish is going to look like. Once I get something in there that's strong enough, when I'm done turning, I may have to put some more in there, and then I'll show you what I do there. But I'm using the thin right at the moment. Then I'll use some medium. I want this to go down as far as it can. So then this is a gap filling, so it's a medium. It's much thicker than the thin there. I can see it somewhat filled, or it's going in there slower. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I think I have one more crack, I'll do that. So that said, I will see you tomorrow. So I let the CA glue sit all night and half the morning. It's go ahead and turn this off and have another look at it. Maybe we'll have to put more on, maybe we won't. It all depends if we can get the shape that we're after. Should be doing about 700 RPM. 5/8 bowl gouge, freshly sharpened. Alright, I'm going to see what I can do with this bottom here. I need to get it flattened out, figure out a way to hold it. I'm turning a lot of air, so it's going to get a little clunky, so I'm going to leave the tailstock up against it for a while. So after stopping for a while and looking over the shape, I think the shape will benefit from taking some of this away. That would mean probably losing that bark, but it would also, I think it'll give us a nicer shape. There, I like that shape a lot better. So looking at this, if this is the bottom, we should see this nice heartwood right there. This side, it's a lot higher up here. If that's the bottom, and this would be a pretty thick bottom in order to leave that. Now for me, I'd rather see a lot of this in there and sacrifice a little bit of height so that we can see this heartwood on the inside. I could see this disappearing if I leave it like that, because that's 5/8, 3/4 of an inch, and we don't want that thick of a bottom. So I'm making a decision now to take maybe another 3/8 off that bottom, just so that we have the inside looking the way I'm hoping it does. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So that's kind of some of the things I look at when I'm getting ready to call it good. The shape's important, but this wood here to me is more important. So before I do any sanding, I think I'll go over it with my negative rake scraper and get it a little bit smoother. Alright, time to do some sanding. The scraper did a really good job here, so I'll start with the 2-inch disc, 120 grit, lathe running in reverse at about 380. Now I just need to start all the dust collector equipment. This is the overhead air filter. This is the noisy one, the dust collector. Alright, final treatment before I put the first coat of sanding sealer on. That's the white Scotch-Brite pad. I'm telling you, this hardly needs a finish. It's just like a piece of glass. But I'm going to put finish on it, so I'll do that right now. Alright, here it goes. This is just a piece of a t-shirt. I actually bought extra large t-shirts at Bi-Mart because they were so cheap. Cut them up and made rags out of them. Look at this. I sure hope you can see that. It is amazing. And since we got these bug holes, might as well get some down in there. I think they're actually very interesting looking. Alright, so that's about what that's going to look like. I might get a second coat on, but I might have to wait till tomorrow morning to do that. Either way, I'll see you when we have it flipped around. Alright, it's the next day. I've got it flipped around. It's running about 810 RPM, nice and smooth. So I went a little faster than that, like 840, and it was starting to shake, so I backed it off. That's how I decide how fast I want the piece to be turning. I'm going to use a 1/2-inch bowl gouge. I will be stopping a lot because there was a lot of cracks on the outside, so I'm not going to show you all the times I stopped because I think there's going to be quite a few times. So let's go ahead and get going. Alright, let's have a look. So, it looks like it's closing up here, but it's still pretty big here. Put this little scale in here. Yeah, it goes down quite a ways. Alright, I stopped and I got some more thin CA into this crack here. It's a good sized crack. I'm going to let that sit probably maybe for a half hour. I think I have another cup of coffee left, so I might go drink that, and then I'll spray it with accelerator. If I do it right now, chances are when I turn it, I'll just get wet CA in my face. So we're going to do it that way, and I'll be back, and we'll keep going. And the wood is really looking beautiful. Okay, well, I hope I've let this sit long enough. I'm going to find out. I'm doing 850 RPM now, same half-inch bowl gouge. And we're going to stop again. There's that crack, and it looks like it's slowly disappearing. A little bit slower than I'd like, but it does look like it's going away. Alright, I'm all set to use the negative rake scraper, and because of all these cracks in here, I'm going to spin the lathe a little faster than usual. We're going to stick with around 800 RPM. It's cutting really nice, and that's where we do have some cracks. Oh, we got cracks everywhere. Just to clear it up, that's just a little faster than I usually turn it from the scraper. Alright, this is going to be really easy. Come back and we'll sand it up. Okay, time to do some sanding. It doesn't look like it's going to be real hard to do. Start with a 2-inch disc, 80 grit, and we'll sand it up to 400. Lathe running forward at 350. Time to get a finish on the inside, and it is really going to be nice. It's just going to pop. Before I do, I'm going to talk about a comment that I read today in the comments. I was asked, how do I get the nice finishes that I do? Because the viewer said that his finishes are kind of hazy looking and they're not smooth. So the thing of it is, the first thing you do is get the perfect sanding you can. Now this is a kind of a rugged looking piece with all the cracks. It still deserves the absolute best sanding I can do, and I got an excellent sanding job here. So one thing I noticed, and this will happen to everybody, you have to look as you sand. I was at 220 getting ready to go to 320, and somewhere on the bowl I saw some scratches. 320 was not going to get rid of the 220 scratches, so I just grabbed a little square of 220 and I sanded it along with the grain. They were gone. I went back to 320. I'm at 400, and it's a perfect finish right now. How do you get it on there so that it's nice and even and you got a nice finish at the end? This is shellac base sanding sealer that I just dipped into here. Soft cloth. And I'm not putting it on very thick. And keep the cloth moving like this. Come back to where that's at. You can go down here. You can swirl it. Just make sure you rub it out like this. You're not rubbing it out, but you're rubbing along with it, light pressure. Then leave it alone. This will dry really fast. So a big trick here is don't try to put it on real thick. It wants to be thin. If your shellac or anything you're using is thick, that's not going to work. So this is pretty much straight out of the can. If it starts getting thick, I put a little bit of denatured alcohol in it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the finish on it. I'll have to get the shellac on it. This is just sanding sealer. And I'll see you when it's time to remove that tenon. So I did say I would show you removing the tenon, but I'm just kind of speeding through it. I have it in the cold jaws, so nothing real complicated here. Well, it's all done, and I forgot to tell you where I got this piece of olive wood. This is another piece that I got from viewer Dennis recently. So here it is. Just look at that. She's got some really amazing colors in it. And I really like this area over here as well. These little stripes on there, it's just like somebody painted them on there. And I guess, well, that would be Mother Nature painted that on there, because I couldn't even get close to that. Also got some bug holes for free. They were full of debris. I decided to scrape them out and leave them just the way they were. And on the base, here's what they looked like beforehand, and I didn't scrape those out. Tell me what you think. Do you like the bug holes cleaned out like that? I know I sure do. But I sure love this grain. It's just amazing. Finished 7 5/8 in diameter. It's 2 5/8 tall, and the walls are 7/16. The piece of wood is heavy. Olive wood is heavy, but I didn't want to go any thinner because of all those cracks that I was dealing with. I felt just fine turning it as far as I did, but it was talking to me. I decided, okay, that's far enough. I like how it looks. Let's just go ahead and stop. I used 2 coats of Zinsser Seal Coat and 2 coats of Zinsser Shellac, and then I went over it with the Axe sanding paste and the polishing paste, and it just left a perfectly smooth finish. I really like how that works out. So, there is something else. I saw it earlier, and I saw a bird here, and the eye is right there. There's a little beak out there. It's a double beak, big long beak and a short one. Tell me what you think. Do you see anything in here? Do you see a bird, or am I seeing things? Let me know in the comments. Special thanks to viewer Dennis for this gorgeous piece of olive wood, and I sure hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, you can let me know by hitting that like button. Also, leave a comment and tell me what you think. I love reading them all, and I do my best to answer them all. If you're currently not subscribed, please consider doing so. If you are subscribed, thank you very much. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I do all types of turnings, and I love doing them all. Let me know your favorites. Thanks again, and until the next time, see you later.